Hi there, welcome to the table. This is going to be just a quick video, a generic video. It's not specifically covering a specific game, although you might recognize the game I have on the screen here. Um, it's basically just to help, some folks have been checking in to ask me if I'm okay and all this other stuff because it's 2023 and I really haven't put much content on the channel, especially compared to 2022, etc. And I just want to let everybody know I'm fine, first of all. Secondly, as you may have noticed with some of my personal videos that I put up, because this is the Jeff channel, it's not a board gaming channel specifically, although that is primarily what I do is board games and then of course some video games. But I talk about smoking in a slow cooker with a grill, meats and my motorcycle. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff I cover. So, as many of you have probably noticed, my son got into West Point. It's very difficult military academy to get into. It's part of the U.S. Army. For those that aren't familiar with the structure, and he tried to get in last year and he failed. So he worked on some of the feedback. He was on the list to get in. They just didn't have enough space for him. It's a big long story, but basically, he was able to get in, and he got in easily this year. And so he went and he did a 6 week boot camp, which was pretty rough. I think those folks in the Marines or some of the other disciplines probably had it worse. So I'm not going to say that it was that bad, but for a kid his age, that was definitely rough, and he made it through. And so there was what they call a reception day, and then there was also an acceptance day. And so I've been to West Point now multiple times, and so there's just been so many distractions. That's all I'm really trying to say is that life has been good. I mean, we're very proud and excited for my son. Josh is his name. He's now a cadet at the academy. Classes have started. He's on, I think, his second week of academic classes there, and it's been very exciting and fun to have him there and learn about the traditions. And I mean, my gosh, there's so much to learn about that place. So I've been quite involved there. I actually run a Facebook group for the parents who are also trying to figure things out and don't understand what's going on. So I've been very distracted. That's just, that's really the number one thing. I also have my other son, Jason, who you've probably seen play many board games with me when he was, you know, 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old. I've been recording for that long, I guess. He's now a senior. And so we got college hunting and stuff to do with him as well. So it's been quite a busy time. I know I did an XCOM playthrough. I've had a lot of video game playthroughs. And I just wanted to explain that video games are easier to get into than a board game. Board games, first of all, you have to sit there and read the rule book because the game isn't going to play itself. Like with a video game, all the rules are bundled in. You may not know what's going on, but it's still going to make it work. And you make your choices, and then you're like, oh, that's how that. So you can almost like learn it by trial and error. Whereas with a board game, you really have to, read and understand the rules because if you're making a mistake, the game's not going to correct you. Although many of you viewers do. So that's always the fun part about this. Um, so, anyways, big thing. I'm okay. I've been very busy. I did cover a few video games, and I'm actually going to cover another one here. I'm going to actually start up today. Again, it's a video game. Now, as far as board games go, I just want you to understand I still game every week with my buddies. We do multiplayer gaming every single week. I mean, I'm actually missing this week, but it's very rare for me to miss a week. So we do this often, and I never record my multiplayer sessions because my friends don't really want to be on my videos, and I respect that. I only record when I'm doing it solo or by myself, and that's the part that has dwindled is my ability to have free time to do that. And like I was saying, when I have free time, I've been playing some of these video games, which are fantastic. They're basically board games that I don't have to work so hard at. Um, but with that said, I I think the U.S. Geological Services has contacted me because they think that I might have a literal mountain of games. I don't know if I meet the defining requirements to call it a mountain, but I have quite a backlog. Um, there are some games that I have not finished a campaign playthrough of, um, and I probably won't because those are put away and I don't even remember what I was doing with them. But my goodness, I have so I have Skies Above Britain. It's still uh, unpunched, unplayed. Isofarian Guard, unpunched, unplayed, and it looks beautiful. Isofarian Guard looks like a ton of fun. I haven't even had a chance to get to it. My Frosthaven I put away, as you know. We were partly through that. Um, I really wish that one would just become a video game because I think that's better. But I really want to play the Frosthaven. I just want help. So like if any of you actually live nearby and want to play Frosthaven, I'm down for it. It's just I don't want to do it all by myself. That's the part about Frosthaven that really gets me. Um, oh, what else do I? Oh, I got Fantasy Warfighter from DVG Games, and that one looks fantastic. The Warfighter series is a series I've never covered. I cover a lot of DVG games. I've owned all the Warfighter games. I had Warfighter Modern. I still own it. I had the World War II one. I sold that um, because it was almost identical to the Modern. Like I just felt like I only needed to own one. I don't need to own both, and I prefer the Modern. World War II added a lot more cool little rules, but the Modern was more fun. I just like the whole idea of stealth and shotguns. And so now I have a fantasy version, which is like you're bringing in a paladin and a cleric and a wizard, and you're basically dungeon romping using the Warfighter rulebook universe. So it's a very fascinating game, and I also have that out. I actually read a few of the rules, but here's what's funny. I've been so exhausted with all the other stuff, and I also have a career I'm trying to manage and be a good parent at the same time. Uh, I have literally fallen asleep every time I try to read the rules because I'm so tired. So as soon as I get comfortable and I open the rule book, I get through like a page and then it's like I'm sawing wood. So anyways, I'm here. I'm still here, and I'm actually going to jump into this particular game that you see in the background, and we're going to cover this. This is a fantastic game, and it's called Baldur's Gate 3. I loved and played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I have a lot to say about this one. Most of it is positive, although I have a few things that do annoy me about this game. Um, and so, but I'm going to do that in a separate video. This video here is solely meant to just say hello and talk about the status of the channel. Um, I, I've never made this channel. I've never asked you for a like or a subscribe. I hopefully never will. Um, for now, this is something that I do for me. And it's fun to chat with you guys. And if I'm going to play board games by myself, I at least have people to play it with. Because, you guys, by extension, are interacting with me. Um, I always want to play a board game with other people. I prefer that over myself all the time. The thing about video games is that those are board games that you can play by yourself. And you're interacting with the game. And to be quite honest, the video games beat board games in my mind. That's why you see me gravitating to these. That's why you see me cover these. I put a lot of hours on these games, um, more so than I probably do the board games. So even though you see me cover a lot of board games, this is really where a lot of my time goes. I cover board games that other people refuse to cover because I think there's some great ones out there that that other people just don't recognize, or the big ones like, and I don't mean to call them out, but the co-op shops and the whatever, they won't cover them because there's just not a lot of market behind it, so it's not worth their time to make a video. And that's always been my niche. And lately I've been just playing the same ones that the big guys are playing. Well, because those games are good. I mean, Isofarian Guard is well covered. It doesn't need me to come up with a playthrough video or anything of it. However, it's looking like a great game. I know that ISS Vanguard is a fantastic game, and I covered at least half of a campaign of it. Um, but it's it didn't need me to do videos. Nobody needed me. The old style games like D-Day at Omaha Beach, which was rarely covered. I'm still, I think, the only one to cover 18OE, and I think I'm the only one to cover Code Word Cromwell. There's certain games like that they just deserved to be covered. Um, and I I had a collection of rare games, right, that nobody covers. I've gone through them all, or most of them, and I'm out of those. And it's not like I buy one every week. Over the years I had a whole bunch, but I've been doing this channel for over 5, 6 years. Um, I've exhausted all my rare ones. So now all I'm doing is covering games that other people have already covered. So some of my momentum has diminished because I don't feel like the need to cover a game. Anyways, I hope that it all makes sense. I'm not saying that I'm going away. My priorities have changed. I am, the board game thing is, it's work. It's work to sometimes, get those set up and to do everything. And sometimes you just, have different passions. Also, it's summertime. I live in the northern hemisphere. Many of you know I'm in the northern parts of the United States, and I have very long winters here. You could pretty much call me Canada. So summertime is also a time when, I mean, yeah, I'm playing video games, but it's not like I mean, board games is a different level of investment of time. And so that's something I tend to like to do in the winter. So you always see me spur out a lot more videos into winter because there's nothing else to do. And that's a great way to pass time. Anyways, I've talked enough. I'm here. I'm very proud and excited for my son. We have a lot of great news, as far as the, Jeff family goes. Um, and just trying to balance everything. And in this channel is sometimes it's not the priority. And so my apologies for some of you who want it to be. Um, and I just feel honored and privileged that there's some of you that actually, whenever I disappear, you guys actually notice it. I mean, that's something, I mean, I feel very privileged, because it's not something that like when I look at myself, I don't consider myself to be somebody anybody would ever care to listen to. So I do appreciate that, and um, I don't want to discourage anybody or anything. I just want to make sure this video is addressing any of those concerns, and yeah, keep gaming, folks. This is a great hobby. I love it. Um, I need to sometimes figure out how to game while exercising at the same time. Um, I know that's called softball, or maybe golf for some people. Um, but yeah, we'll get there. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching. Stay healthy and safe, and we'll see you soon. And stay awesome.